Hi everybody, this is Denise Gwynn of Denise Gwynn Author, and I am a writer, a novelist, and I'm also a Barbie enthusiast. So let me take you through the Barbie Dream Fest 2026 that quickly turned into Barbie Nightmare Fest, also known as Barbie Fyre Festival Fest. So let's get started. So first of all, I wanted to attend the Mattel Barbie convention this year in Austin, Texas. And last year I didn't get to sign up in time, and I did go to Lexington, Kentucky on the day when there were sales going on for members of the public. And I went into the sales room on Sunday, and it was terrific. The room was packed with vendors and all kinds of great dolls and accessories and clothing and furniture. And I bought a lot of really wonderful items at not very much money. There were some very good prices, very competitive. So I really wanted to sign up for the Barbie convention this year. But when it became open for members of the public who hadn't already been a member or attended the year prior in 2025, it was completely booked. I mean, I was ready to sign up that minute when it opened for the public to sign for the convention, and they were completely booked. So I got waitlisted. I was very disappointed. I really wanted to attend the Barbie convention in Austin, Texas, but apparently preferential treatment was given to people who had come in prior years. So there's that. So one day I'm sitting at my desk working, and I see an ad for Barbie Dream Fest 2026 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And when I first saw it, I thought, that's nothing interesting, not so good. But then I kept seeing the ads, and I thought, okay, all right. So I talked to my husband and said, I am going to be miserable if I can't attend this program. So he agreed. And I paid for my attendance at the convention. I paid for the 3-day pass. I did not go for the pink pass or the dream pass. That just seemed like too much money. So I paid for the 3-day pass, and I was so excited. I was so thrilled. I was getting to go to my first Barbie convention as an attendee. And I was really excited because I thought I'd be getting lots of goodies. There'd be lots of Barbies available. I thought I'd be getting a lot of swag, which is what is expected at these kinds of things. I've also gone to book conferences, and they throw the books at you. You walk out of the conference and you've got so many books in your carry-on tote that you can barely carry them. So I got ready. I picked my favorite pair of pink shoes. I went to a tailor and got my gorgeous hot pink suit tailored, and you'll see it over here. Okay. And I wore that for the first day. And it took some effort to get me into the suit. I've lost a lot of weight. And yet at the same time, it was still kind of hard to get that zipper up. My husband had to help me with, what's the expression, baling wire and a fish hook or something like that. So I get to the conference. Oh, something else. Shoes. I also packed a pink bag. So I was ready. I was ready for this thing. So let me tell you what it was like when I arrived. So I couldn't get a hotel room in the Omni, which is the hotel connected to the convention. It's connected through the hotel. And I was a nervous wreck because I wanted to get there in time. I was planning to take the 10 a.m. yoga class, and then I thought, no, I'll do bingo first. That sounded like fun. So I get there, I get to the convention, and at first everything seems fine. There are a lot of lines of people signing up, and people were dressed so cute. There were so many cute dressed people. There were young women carrying their favorite Barbies. One young woman befriended another one, and they sang a song to one another from one of the Barbie movies. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a great event. that looked promising. But then this woman, this rather snotty woman in a pink blouse, was very coldly and methodically separating us. So Dream Fest people and Pink Fest people got in one line, and us schlubs, the 3-day event and the 1-day event, got pushed over to another line. And I'm like, what is going on? And there was a woman and man behind me dressed in the Barbie and Ken inline skating outfits from the movie. Everybody looks so cute. So, and there were also lots of little bitty girls. So what happened was, at a little bit past 10, maybe actually it was more than that, it was like 10:10, they finally opened the bloody doors. And at first, the Dream Fest and the Pink Fest people walked in, and when they first opened the double doors, I could see it was a big empty space. Okay, so these people get to go in first, and I'm like, when do we get to go in? The doors were supposed to open at 10. I was very annoyed. And this man said, in a minute, I'll let you know when you can go in. It's like, let us in now. I was so annoyed. So at 10:15, we finally got to walk in. And I was underwhelmed. I saw what was purporting to be the interactive Barbie funhouse. I did a complete circle of everything. And I was very disappointed, very unhappy. I was angry, right? So, and I always try to make the best of things. So I wandered over to the Michaels Arts and Crafts Supplies display. This was the goodie bag you got for going to the Michaels. And in the goodie bag from Michaels, there were some cute things. And you could get sunglasses. This is actually, I got something, right? And I got a book of stickers. Yay, cute little stickers. All right, oh, and pens, and a cute little bracelet making kit. So good for Michaels. Michaels Arts and Crafts, they put on a huge vendor space. You went up, this guy was managing a camera, and you went and sat behind a cutout of a car, and you posed for a photo. That was the first photo. And I thought I wasn't sitting up enough, so I went back around. There was no limit to how many times you could do it. And I perched up on the box better. And I got this picture taken. And then as you come out of that photo, you get to decorate a frame. And I love this frame, and I had so much fun decorating it. And as I took my time and colored it with all the pens, and Michaels was very generous with the supplies. They had gorgeous pens, they had stickers, they had gems, they had rhinestones. These are cute, these little rhinestoney looking gems, because you peel them off and they come off as a loop. And I thought I might go back to Michaels afterwards and buy some of these so that I could bling up some of my Barbie's outfits. So Michaels redeemed Barbie Fest for me. And it was also a lot of fun to see the little girls decorating their frames. They were so cute. They had their mommies with them. One little girl was getting annoyed with her mother. She said, "I've waited patiently for you to decorate your frame, Mom. Now I get to do mine," because her mom was slapping stickers on it. It's like, leave the kid alone. Let her decorate her own frame. So that put me in a much better mood. And then I wandered over to the box that they show in the movie that Margot Robbie's character is supposed to get back into and get tied back up. So I posed for that picture. I did a couple of poses and I posted them, and then another time I went back and I asked the person taking my photo, would you please kind of frame it so that it looks like that's the only thing in the frame instead of showing the convention behind me. And so that really cheered me up. So then I went over to the area where Angel Reese was being interviewed. And I feel sorry for this lady. She got a nice interview. The person interviewing her did a nice job, but her interview set was way off in a dark corner of the convention center, and you could barely see her from the stage. And they had these big screens set up so you could kind of see her, but she was talking about her journey, and it would have been nicer if she'd had a better place to sit and talk, because while she's talking to the interviewer, the convention's going on and there's all this other noise. So there was that. And I was pretty thoroughly annoyed. I was getting into a better frame of mind, and I looked at the schedule and I noticed that the two events that I wanted to see and participate in were at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So I walked out of the convention, and I walked and I took my luggage, and I would have felt foolish otherwise, but Fort Lauderdale is the place where all the cruise ships disembark and leave with their passengers. And our hotel, in fact, was Cruise Ship Central. The first morning we were there were a lot of old people like me in the breakfast room. On another morning, on our last morning there, it was all little kids and little girls and kids wearing mouse ears. So it was the Disney cruise. At one point, my husband and I, we counted like 8 cruise ships in the harbor. There were a lot of ships there. And there were people, as they've just gotten off the cruise ship, who were walking around with their luggage. So I didn't feel quite so stupid pulling my bag along. So I went to a Panera and had lunch, and it was perfectly dismal. So I got to sit and eat and relax. And I walked back, again, yanking my luggage behind me. And I'm wearing my hot pink suit. And this car pulls over. And at first I'm like, what is that person doing? Are they having car trouble? And then this lady pokes her head out the window and she said, would you like a ride back to the convention? It's like, sure. So I jump into this nice, comfortable, air-conditioned car. And the lady I'm sitting next to said, what's your feeling about this experience, this convention? I said, it's been all right. You know, I'm having a good time. And she said, I am not. This is terrible. I am not enjoying myself. And when I came back to the convention that afternoon, that's when I started hearing about Fyre Festival and what was the other one? How Mischief Magic, whatever the name of this company is that's hosting this event, how they have hosted other prior terrible events. And other people were warning conventioneers not to go. I didn't see that warning. It's like, no, I thought it was going to be great. And so that kind of helped give me a little bit of perspective that a lot of people were equally unhappy. It wasn't just me.